Hello everyone. I've not done some not earnings, but kind of market analysis for a while. I like to do this weekly. So this is my one for this week ahead. There's not too much event-wise happening this week. We obviously have the unemployment claims and PMI coming later, but we've kind of seen good numbers across the board, especially from unemployment and even manufacturing numbers. So don't really expect these to change, but we'll keep an eye on those. The one thing I'm not sure about is the effect of the G20 meeting on trading this week. So I'll keep an eye on, I think, Monday's trading, just to see kind of what happens with that. Because I know sometimes what Trump says has effects on those sorts of things. So I'll keep that in mind, but I don't think I plan on taking any trades on Monday because I'm not around anyway. So I'll look at the market after it's all said and done. But yeah, looking at the earnings this week, Walmart I thought was be an important one on Tuesday. We've got low MDT keys, JDLTR, but the big boy that we're waiting for is Nvidia on Wednesday. Always last, but definitely not least by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's one of the last remaining kind of earnings. There might be one more next week that I was looking at, but not really, to be honest. You got Dell, Crowd, Workday, Autodesk. Like, I monitor those ones, but it's definitely at the tail end of the trading earnings calendar. So come for next week, so I'll be sure to put those in for my analysis then. But yeah, I also need to be careful of any stocks that might be influenced by Nvidia, because we know Nvidia is a big mover of anything to do with tech and obviously semiconductors. So like a black hole, it has a huge gravitational pull on so many of the stocks. Overall market analysis is still bullish, especially based on some of the seasonality. I was looking back at 2018-19 recently, and mainly 2023 is what I was interested in as well. But just scrolling back to what usually happens around, whether it's sometimes the beginning of October, sometimes that kind of November time, and sometimes even December. But what we tend to get though is this a lot of the time. So it's not going to be the same all the time. So I think this is 2022. So yeah, got there eventually, I suppose, and gets going. But I was just looking back there. Probably better to look at the weekly, isn't it, rather than that? But there's always a degree of seasonality, it seems, afterwards. 19, maybe what's that? 11, that's 16, miss 17. So sometimes there are exceptions, and we get pullbacks. But I don't think there's anything here to kind of say to us that we should be wary of economic numbers. Thinking about what's come from the Fed, so nothing's driving our current kind of decline here. Like, what's driving this little bit here and these bits here? There's no significant news. We're not worried about the economy. The Fed seem pretty dovish. Earnings have been good across the board. I can't think of anything that would have me concerned. So yeah, there's nothing driving this downtrend. So my overall perspective is I'm still bullish. I'm cautious about what's happening in the market. So I'm obviously cautious. Let's just go to today about what's happening. But think about what we've had here. It's quite obviously it's a massive move, but it's obviously a sign of bullish intent. Yes, there have been pullbacks on the way, but there's always been pullbacks on the way, and that's our chance to kind of buy into those. So, nothing has really changed for us. So, we've got things happening here, but overall, we're still going in the right direction. And yes, we're getting a pullback here, but I guess think about what we've seen is this is post-election. So it's like I guess post-election relief. I think what Pete calls it. And this is a massive climb from here to here. It's pretty drastic, and then it keeps going even further. So if this was a stock or anything else, I'd be like, this is a post earnings massive jump. I'm going to wait for this to settle down, find support, find a bit of calming, I suppose, and go from there. We obviously know that this upward trend line is kind of important here, but I think that key level really is just that 600 level. So I'm sure we'll see that retested, and when it comes back up to there, we'll be interested in that. But what we're waiting for is basically a pullback and where for the market to find support. I thought maybe it might be on this line here, what we kind of saw here, and on the 8 EMA, because usually when we get sort of massive jumps up, we want to see these return to the EMAs. But obviously that hasn't quite happened. So again, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to see where is the support going to find it. And I'll wait until that kind of happens. So if I scroll down to my 3 sort of, I guess, potential options that I'm looking for, the first one is kind of, where are we going to find that dip? Where is the dip coming? Where will we find that support? So, 585, where we are now, is my first port of call. This kind of big jump up here, this is that's a good level of support for me, basically. I like that. I think that's a good level. If we look at let's look at the 5-minute as well. Maybe we have found support here. There's an AVWAP 15 EMA trend line. There's a lot coming into play here. So that AVWAP is from this one here. I can't remember what that event was, but I did put it down for that. This one here is for the quarter. So my quarterly AVWAP. So my first port of call is, will we hit this one? And if the answer is yes, we'll find support here, and then maybe we'll ping back to look to challenge that 600 level. But then that would be a good level that we found support here. And if that scenario happens, we can deal with it when it comes to it and then do another weekly analysis. But the kind of next level that I'd be looking at is this AVWAP from the quarter. A really key level. Again, it's only a $4 away. So if we don't find it here, we might find it here. And I'll be looking for those levels of support. And again, if it's not that one, then we're obviously looking at this kind of major line here that I've set this line here. I'd be looking at that one, and which also coincides with a 50 SMA. And it seems in the past, we've potentially found some support around the 50 SMA, kind of around here. But we're just looking to evaluate the dip. We don't know when it's going to come, is the honest answer. When this one was happening here, I thought, well, is it coming here? Oh, is that the dip? Nope. Nope. Not getting off the ground. Nope. Again, gap down here. Maybe the final kind of sell-off. That's what I'm looking for, that capitulation, I suppose. The last expanding of the energy on the downward move. So if we see a big aggressive candle on the down on good volume, that could be our capitulation. But we don't know yet. So we're not going to jump in yet. Another one here. That was on the AVWAP. I think that was, it was beginning of the year in January. So we kind of maybe saw it twice off the AVWAP, which is a key level. So we're not sure when that's going to come, but we know it is going to come. And when that does eventually happen, that's when, those stocks we've evaluated for relative strength, excellent D1s. I've got a couple in my list here, but I need to go through and get some more. Good D1s. I like, I think I remember Amazon. I know Harry's been interested in Amazon. Waiting for these to see what happens and find their support out. I think this is a post-earnings one, but it's holding up really well, right? As the market's gone down here, app kind of refuses to budge. So here's our relative strength. Market goes down, big down day, stays the same. That is what we're looking for. Back the same. I've got more to look at in here, but there's some really good ones in here. Maybe not some good ones, but there's some earnings coming up for some of these as well. But I've just added these to the list and just seeing how some of them are holding up. Some are not holding up. That's why we hold fire, because we don't know how they're going to do. Marvel not doing so well. Netflix doing all right, actually. Starbucks want to get through that level first. I won't go through all of these kind of options. RDDT, I think, is one Harry has mentioned, but kind of like that. It's holding up pretty well across the board. Really, as the market goes down, it's held these massive gains here, which is fantastic. So that's my market analysis, just seeing what's going on and just preparing myself for the week. That's what I'm looking for and waiting for before I jump into any swing trades. So that's what I look at, is swing trades. I'm not really into day trading. I might do if I get a bearish trend day like this, but I'm never at the computer long enough to monitor these positions, unfortunately. So that's my analysis for the week. I've not done one for a while, so I just wanted to add my thoughts into a video rather than just text, because it helps me put it together. So thanks.